Major funding for NJTV News is provided in part by the members of the New Jersey Education Association, making public schools great for every child, and PSE&G. We make things work for communities.
Tonight on NJTV News, gun laws.
Governor Murphy signed 6 bills that tighten New Jersey's already stringent gun laws amid much fanfare.
Toxic emissions, dirty dumping, and Donald Trump, New Jersey's top environmental official, talks regulations with business leaders.
Plus, equine choreography and the art of dressage. We're ringside. Also, casinos and racetracks are chomping at the bit. Sports betting's gained final approval. And America's hosting the World Cup. Vuvuzelas at MetLife Stadium? Maybe. Those stories and more next on NJTV News.
Live from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio at 2 Gateway Center in Newark, this is NJTV News with Mary Alice Williams.
Hello, thank you for joining us. The state's tough gun laws just got tougher. Governor Murphy signed into law a package of gun control bills that put New Jersey in the front lines of the gun safety debate. Chief political correspondent Michael Aaron reports.
This is A2759, which bans armor-piercing ammunition forever and always in the state of New Jersey.
Several hundred gun control advocates and others turned out at the Hughes Justice Complex in Trenton this morning to witness Governor Murphy signing 6 gun control bills into law.
That is now the law of the land.
The bills reduce firearm magazine capacity from 15 rounds to 10, require firearm seizure from individuals posing a threat to themselves or others, outlaw armor-piercing ammunition, authorize restraining orders and firearm seizure warrants if a mental health provider warns law enforcement, require background checks for private gun sales, and tighten the definition of justifiable need to get a handgun carry permit. Among the 8 speakers here, Alfonso Calderon, a survivor of the Parkland High School massacre in Florida.
Thank you for taking the trip up here to New Jersey. It sends a strong and clear message to our president, to the Republican leadership in Congress, and to the corporate gun lobby. We are going to be a leader in the fight for common sense gun safety laws.
The 16-year-old spoke with authority. He chastised Florida Governor Rick Scott for not wearing a gay pride button in solidarity with the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando out of political expediency.
We have one message to all of those politicians who won't wear their pride on their sleeve, who won't stand up to the NRA, and who won't be decent human beings. We're going to vote them out.
Legislators who've been fighting for more gun control for years got a turn to make remarks. Assembly Majority Leader Lou Greenwald spoke with particular passion.
Is it that hard to grasp a notion that we don't need armor-piercing bullets to go hunt a deer? Is it that hard to understand that when over 90% of the residents of this country believe that we should have mental health background checks before you buy a gun, that we had to wait this long to get to where we are today?
State Attorney General Gurbir Grewal has been involved in the gun safety issue. He filed an amicus brief in a Massachusetts lawsuit today that seeks to cut down on the right to carry in that state.
We can read the Second Amendment. We understand the Second Amendment, and we respect the Second Amendment. But that still leaves us a lot of room, and it still leaves me a lot of room as the chief law enforcement officer in this state to protect our residents and to take actions to protect our residents.
These 6 are now the law of the land of New Jersey.
While this was happening, the New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Club filed suit today against the 10-round magazine limit, arguing it's unconstitutional and that current owners of 15-round magazine clips should at least be grandfathered in. In Trenton, I'm Michael Aaron, NJTV News.
Immediately following the signing ceremony, the governor took reporters into a separate room to defend his budget plan, tax hikes and all. Michael Aaron is standing by with that. Michael?
Mary Alice, Governor Murphy told reporters he's confident a budget will get done by June 30th, but he wasn't budging on any of the items up for negotiation, at least not publicly. I like what we've put out there, Murphy said. His proposal includes a hike in the income tax for million-dollar incomes and restoring the sales tax to 7%. Senate President Steve Sweeney and Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, his fellow Democrats, have rejected that. Sweeney prefers a temporary hike in the corporate business tax that would last 2 years. For Murphy, that's not a sustainable long-term revenue source.
Just going from a one-shot to a two-shot leaves me cold. So just sort of saying you're doing something for 2 years doesn't get you. That's not real change. That's extending a one-shot into a two-shot. Secondly, I want to make sure we're still competitive. We're already at the outer edge of competitiveness. And so that's something that I want to really think through.
Murphy's afraid that companies won't relocate here or will move out if the corporate business tax is hiked. He also shot down Assembly Speaker Coughlin's tax amnesty program proposal that would bring in about $150 million.
I will tell you something. I think you do a tax amnesty, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 strikes, nobody on base, you're down by 10 runs, you've run out of any other good idea because you're sort of going to the well. And I tell you, people are sick of that. The rating agencies, our citizens, it could be a significant number, but boy, I'll tell you, when you've got other sustainable, obvious revenue sources that you can deploy, that people are overwhelmingly, by the way, put aside legislators, Charlie, people overwhelmingly are comfortable with the plan we're talking about. This is not a radical plan that we're trying to jam down people's throats in the public writ large. They say, you know what, this makes sense.
So Sweeney and Coughlin call Murphy's taxes a last resort, and Murphy calls Coughlin's tax amnesty a last resort. They have 17 days to get on the same page. I'm Michael Aaron at the State House. Mary Alice, back to you.
Thank you, Michael. Tomorrow, Governor Murphy plans to place the state's first legal sports bet, and betting tops the state's business news. Standing by at the Strategic Development Group studio at the NJCU School of Business is Rhonda Schaffler. Rhonda?
Mary Alice, after a prolonged and expensive court battle, New Jersey has moved quickly to make sure it's all set to begin legal sports betting tomorrow. Earlier today, the State Division of Gaming Enforcement approved emergency regulations governing wagering. So at 10:30 tomorrow morning, Monmouth Park Racetrack will accept its first bets on sports games. Then at 11, the Borgata in Atlantic City will open its sports wagering parlor. Of course, additional casinos are expected to pony up the $100,000 for an initial sports wagering license. Online sports betting in the state won't begin for another month. It's a safe bet that you'll be paying higher interest rates on all sorts of loans. The Federal Reserve today increased its benchmark interest rate by 1/4 percentage point and indicated there are more hikes on the way. That means interest rates will increase on some mortgages, student loans, and credit cards. OnePlus savings accounts will earn more. By raising interest rates, the Fed is trying to fend off inflation as the economy heats up a bit. The bankers indicated 2 additional interest rate increases are likely, along with several more next year. Also on the rise, gas prices. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of regular gas in New Jersey is $2.95, which is 59 cents per gallon higher than a year ago. Compared to last summer, AAA says consumers are spending $69 more a month to fill up their gas tanks. New Jersey's gas price is the 18th highest in the country. Some good news for commuters who have ever been on an NJ Transit train that stopped because the Portal Bridge is stuck. NJ Transit's board today approved the issuance of $600 million in EDA transportation bonds to fund the bridge's replacement. This is all part of the Gateway project, part of which will be funded by the state. NJ Transit says when built, the new bridge will allow for a 10% increase in peak hour passenger capacity. On Wall Street today, stocks retreated with the Dow falling 119 points. And those are our top business stories.
Support for the Business Report provided by Verizon. Support for the Environment Report provided by PSE&G, making things more sustainable for New Jersey.
It's not just lawmakers weighing in on the state's budget. Business leaders are also expressing concern about which programs get funded. Today, newly confirmed Department of Environmental Protection Commissioner Catherine McCabe shared which issues top its agenda. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan was there.
We're not going to back up. We're going to keep fighting on this one.
New Jersey's top environmental officer promised a dogfight over clean air in a get-to-know-you speech before the Commerce and Industry Association. DEP Commissioner Catherine McCabe came here to promote her boss's agenda, noting Governor Murphy joined California and 16 other states suing EPA Chief Scott Pruitt for scrapping strict national vehicle emission standards.
We stand solidly with California and the other states in opposing that, and we will fight it tooth and nail to the last drop of our ability to do so.
McCabe touted Murphy's plan to promote clean, renewable energy, including zero-emission cars, offshore wind, and nuclear power. These engineers, attorneys, and business leaders appreciate Murphy's clean and green mantra, but they expressed far more interest in regulations affecting their industry and on the budget drama gripping Trenton lawmakers.
When I looked at all the agency budgets, I was actually surprised to see that the DEP budget was actually lower than last year. So one of the few agencies that actually had a little bit of a hit on the budget side. So I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. This budget is really going to set the stage for the next 4 years.
The governor believes, as do I, that a healthy environment and a vibrant economy go together.
McCabe said Murphy's working hard on the budget and that Jersey will once again be able to tap into an environmental fund when it rejoins RGGI, the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. But the new commission is less than familiar with regulations governing natural resource damages, brownfield development, and especially dirty soil disposal.
She didn't really have a good response to that right now, but I'm hoping that she'll be able to work with us and her Department of Solid Waste to figure out how to sort out those details.
An investigation by the State Commission of Investigations last year showed unregulated soil brokers dumping toxic waste from the Bronx along beaches in Middlesex County. Legit recyclers expressed concern over pending legislation.
That they don't stray to people that don't even work in that area. If you're concerned about soil, focus on soil and just regulate the soil brokers who are completely unregulated at this point in time.
The environment goes hand in hand with redevelopment and cleanup. So budget's important, funding's important, getting these programs off the ground is critical.
The business community is looking for significant input from the DEP, and money talks in environmental cleanup. But when it comes to budget, the commissioner's hands are tied. In Roseland, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.
It took 2 elections, but Trenton finally has a new mayor. Longtime State Assembly member Reed Gashora will be the city's new mayor, having defeated Paul Perez by 355 votes in a runoff election forced after last month's vote gave none of the 7 candidates the requisite 50% needed to win. Gashora will have to contend with what the State Department of Environmental Protection has called major mismanagement and water quality issues at the Trenton Water Works. He campaigned on a pledge that if elected, he'd focus on competency within the administration.
I think Trentonians are excited about a change that is going to take place. We want to look at economic opportunities for the city and just get back to the basics where we're filling the potholes, taking down abandoned properties, and cleaning up alleyways so that people will want to invest and live in the city.
One day ahead of the 2018 World Cup in Russia, FIFA has awarded North America host of the 2026 World Cup. And though specific venues in Canada, Mexico, and the United States have yet to be selected, part of the successful bid specifically calls for the 2026 soccer tournament final to be played at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, on the spot where Old Giant Stadium hosted games in the 1994 World Cup, kicking off the popularity of the sport in America, which will be celebrating its 250th anniversary 8 short years from now. A milestone in the Camden turnaround. That tops tonight's Garden State Express. Our first stop, Camden, placing the last steel beam atop a spanking new 18-story office tower on the waterfront. It'll be the new headquarters for 3 New Jersey companies: insurance brokerage firm Connor Strong and Buckalew, international logistics company NFI, and real estate firm the Michaels Organization. They'll bring with them nearly 1,000 jobs. It's one more project in more than $3 billion worth of new economic development in various stages of construction. This building's the tallest yet, topped off by a helipad. Next to Brick, where those clinging jellyfish with a wicked sting are back. The State Department of Environmental Protection has confirmed the presence in the Mcteaticunk River of the tiny species of jellyfish as small as a dime, whose painful sting can land victims in the hospital. They've issued an advisory to people using the river to wear waders. The department's also urging users of the Shrewsbury and Manasquan rivers to be on the lookout for the scourge, noting the gelatinous creatures with crosses across their middle invade rivers, and their presence should not discourage people from flocking to New Jersey's beaches. Finally, Ocean City boasting the best beaches, the happiest too. That's according to the magazine Coastal Living, which named Ocean City the 2018 happiest seaside town, claiming the beach boardwalk, historic district, saltwater taffy, and unique traditions like the baby parade make it pure Americana. Those highlights and the fact that it's a dry, booze-free locale helped it beat out 9 other rivals in the Best Beaches in America competition to take first place. And that's our Garden State Express for Wednesday, June 13th. Something up in your neighborhood? Tip us off. This week, we've been reporting on the long-discussed but long-delayed prospect of ending strict limits on liquor licenses, limits that date to the end of Prohibition. Should the state vote to make licenses more available and affordable for future restaurant owners, if doing so would devalue the $1 million investment current restaurant owners were required to make? Leah Mishkin has the final report in our series on the state's complicated liquor license laws.
Liquor licenses in New Jersey can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Assemblyman John Berzacelli says his bill would change an old system to make prices affordable for many restaurant owners.
You'll be able to get into this anywhere from $10,000 to $5,000 annually. So again, the little guy who's opening a restaurant has a chance of making it.
He says instead of issuing licenses based on population size, which is how it currently works, his bill, which is referred to as R1, creates new liquor licenses for certain restaurants based on number of tables, chairs, and kitchen size.
It really accomplishes what the mayors want. It helps restaurants, development of restaurants, which drive downtown development, but it does not give them the potential for a shot and beer, troublesome bar, because it's really not a bar, it's just table service.
The companion bill, being referred to as R2, would create a cheaper subclass to sell beer and wine, which currently doesn't exist.
That bill in particular, I think, opens up a great deal of economic development opportunity in areas where that's really closed off now.
But the way liquor licenses have been issued is a process that dates back to Prohibition. So current license holders say you can't all of a sudden change the system without compensation.
Now, whether that's compensate everybody back for a fair market value of their liquor licenses and then start the system all over again, whether it's a town-by-town basis based on need and then doing a compensation, there's going to have to be a solution, and it's going to have to come pretty quickly because this is, as we say, it's a death by 1,000 cuts. And every time, new licenses come into a market, it does decrease their value. But there are areas, just being very honest, there are areas that do need new liquor licenses.
We have a provision, if they can demonstrate that their license has been devalued because of this secondary license, that they can make application through the ABC for a tax credit for the difference in the value of their license. We don't think it's going to affect their license because these new license/permits do less.
Alcoholic beverage industry attorney Robert Skeen says while he does think there should be licenses available, he says compensation has to be fair, and the bill being proposed.
The compensation mode is very, very convoluted about tax credits, and from my discussions with some of the casual dining folks, that it doesn't nearly cover what they think their devaluations are going to be.
He suggests only moving forward with the R2 portion of the bill, the beer and wine class.
So that if someone has a restaurant 1,500 square feet or more and they have no bar, allowing them to have a beer and wine license, to me seems logical because BYOB is only for beer and wine as it stands.
What everyone we interviewed did agree on is it's a complicated issue that doesn't have a simple answer.
There's always sensitivity about protecting someone's investment, and that's why the R1, R2 bill has a compensation mechanism factored into it. So that has to be taken into account. I think the unwillingness to risk that is kind of why there hasn't been movement.
The bill has passed one committee, and Berzacelli says they're working on details with all stakeholders to take it to the next step. In Trenton, Leah Mishkin, NJTV News.
We leave you tonight in a show ring where athletes of astonishing strength and grace competed to represent the United States in world-class competition. Brianna Venozzi was ringside.
You're watching a ballet of sorts, a carefully choreographed dance that shows off a horse's balance, accuracy, and obedience. It's called dressage in the equine world. It's an Olympic discipline, and it's one of the competitions for the Jersey Fresh International 3-day event.
It's the triathlon of the equestrian world, and we have hosted here for 18 years this event, and this year it is a World Games qualifier. In an Olympic year, it is an Olympic qualifier, so you're seeing a caliber of horsemanship that is far superior to the average event that we host here.
Horse riders travel from as far as New Zealand to compete. The JFI, as it's called, is held at the Horse Park of New Jersey in Allentown, with competition broken into 3 parts: dressage, the main event cross country, and stadium jumping.
That's where horses gallop over a course, and they are jumping. They are going through a water complex. It is really a test of endurance and speed and skill.
I've won the 3-star 3 times, and yeah, it's sort of my home event. I'm from just across the border in Pennsylvania, and you know, we love coming here, and they keep trying to improve the place and make it a top-class competition.
To keep high-level competitors coming back, they unveiled upgrades to the horse park's main ring, coinciding with the 30th anniversary. Although the land here is leased through the DEP, the horse park is a nonprofit and doesn't receive state funding, which means improvements are slow, lagging other well-known parks throughout the country.
We have addressed the issues with drainage. We have taken out the center drain, and now we have a level competition surface that drains very well and provides a stable and safe footing for the horses. And that is the most important thing here, is the safety of the horses competing and the riders.
It's a total gem within our state. That brings us so much recognition. It is an economic generator for the equine industry and has the prestige, as I said, around the globe.
The park, and in fact this area of the state, is known as the cornerstone of the pleasure horse sector, faring far better than the racing industry. The event also hosts retail vendors and food tents. It's designed to be a spectator sport. The course designer also created the questions, as they're called, for the world competition, and it promises to be tough.
Very much try to help the horse, and so understand a little bit about how the horse sees. You know, we know the horse sees in contrast, not color, like we do. We know it sees front and back, and it can't focus in front like we can. We know that the blue and yellow, it picks out very good. So with the colors and the decoration and things, we're trying to help the horse see and understand the questions and the fences as much as possible.
This event alone is responsible for about half of the park's entire revenue for the year. Now, the athletes who qualify will move on to compete at the World Equestrian Games held in North Carolina this September. In Allentown, Brianna Venozzi, NJTV News.
And now some noteworthy facts that help you know Jersey. There are roughly 9,000 liquor licenses for the entire state of New Jersey. New Jersey has some 14,000 electric vehicles on the road. There is one horse for every 323 people in New Jersey. And in the early 1700s, Ocean City was used to store freshly caught whales. If there's someone who you'd like to get to know Jersey, share. Use #KnowJersey. Tomorrow on NJTV News, sports betting. We're at the starting gates. To share any story you've seen tonight, go to njtvnews.org. I'm Mary Alice Williams. For all the men and women of NJTV News, thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. NJM Insurance Group, serving the insurance needs of New Jersey residents and businesses for more than 100 years. And Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
PSE&G is building New Jersey's clean energy future. We're working to protect our network against extreme weather, expanding and upgrading transmission lines, and modernizing our natural gas system by installing new, more durable underground pipes. At PSE&G, our goal is to make sure you have the safe, reliable energy you need to power your life now and into the future.
In every county across the state.
I do like that Horizon is a Jersey company. It's almost like a sports team. For us, it's like ours.
In sickness and in health.
You never think it's going to happen to you, especially being so young. Horizon has been there for me through everything I've been through.
With experience and stability, we're behind you.
You know, we're hardworking people in New Jersey. Horizon gets us.